In this video, we're going to be looking at the square root property. In one, they want us to solve using the square root property. Where applicable, write the answer in the form of a plus bi. In a, we have 3y squared minus 33 is equal to 0. And the first thing I'm going to do is add 33 to both sides. So I have 3y squared is equal to 33. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So I get y squared is equal to 11. And now I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So I have y is equal to plus and minus the square root of 11. So our solution set is the square root of 11 and negative square root of 11. In B, we have x minus 5 squared plus 9 is equal to 0. And the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 9 from both sides. So I get x minus 5 squared is equal to negative 9. And now I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So I have x minus 5 is equal to plus and minus the square root of negative 9. And I can rewrite the square root of negative 9 as I times the square root of 9. So I have x minus 5 is equal to plus and minus I square root of 9. And the square root of 9 is equal to 3. So I have x minus 5 is equal to plus and minus 3i. And now I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So I'm going to have x is equal to 5 plus and minus 3i. And my solution set is going to be 5 plus 3i and 5 minus 3i. In C, we have 4 times x minus 1 squared minus 16 is equal to 0. So the first thing we're going to do is add 16 to both sides. So we have 4 times x minus 1 squared is equal to 16. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So I have x minus 1 squared is equal to 4. And now I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So I get x minus 1 is equal to plus and minus the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is equal to 2. So I have x minus 1 is equal to plus and minus 2. And then we're going to add 1 to both sides. So x is equal to 1 plus and minus 2. So x is equal to 1 plus 2, and x is equal to 1 minus 2. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, and 1 minus 2 is equal to negative 1. So our solution set is going to be negative 1 and 3. In D, we have 4x minus 1 all squared minus 16 is equal to 0. So we're going to add 16 to both sides. So we have 4x minus 1 squared is equal to 16. And now we're going to take the square root of both sides. So I have 4x minus 1 is equal to plus and minus the square root of 16. And the square root of 16 is equal to 4. So we have 4x minus 1 is equal to plus and minus 4. And now we're going to add 1 to both sides. So we have 4x is equal to 1 plus or minus 4. And now we need to divide by 4. So we have x is equal to 1 plus or minus 4 divided by 4. So x is equal to 1 plus 4 divided by 4, which is equal to 5/4. And x is equal to 1 minus 4 divided by 4, which is equal to negative 3/4. So our solution set is going to be negative 3/4 and 5/4. In E, we have 6 times the cube root of x minus 1 squared plus 5 is equal to 29. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 5 from both sides, and we get 6 times the cube root of x minus 1 squared is equal to 24. And now we're going to divide both sides by 6. So we have the cube root of x minus 1 squared is equal to 4. And now we're going to take the square root of both sides. So we have the cube root of x minus 1 is equal to plus and minus the square root of 4. And now I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So we have the cube root of x is equal to 1 plus and minus, and the square root of 4 is 2. And now I'm going to set the cube root of x equal to 1 plus 2, and the cube root of x equal to 1 minus 2. And I'm going to solve for x in both cases. So I have the cube root of x is equal to 1 plus 2. So we're going to cube both sides. So I have x is equal to 1 plus 2 is 3 cubed, and x is equal to 27. And we have the cube root of x cubed is equal to x, and 1 minus 2 is negative 1 cubed, and x is equal to negative 1. So our solution set is negative 127. And that's our video on the square root property.